Our Tuesday, August 29th, City Council meeting to order. We have pledge of allegiance and indication by Councilman Henderson.
Please stand, salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right, Councilman Henderson.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Got to get it pulled up. In Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. Would you bow with me in prayer? Father, we just ask that you bless our efforts here tonight. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Councilman Henderson. All right, we have no special presentations. Can I get approval on the minutes? All right, they stand without objection. On final reading, if there's no objection from council, we'll take items A, B, and C as a group. All right, Madam Clerk.
Item A, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone property located at 5217 Slayton Avenue and an unaddressed property in the 5200 block of Slayton Avenue from R2 residential zone to RTZ residential townhouse, zero lot line zone subject to certain conditions. Item B, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located at 1111 North Hawthorne Street and an unaddressed property in the 1100 block of North Hawthorne Street from R1 residential zone to RTZ residential townhouse, zero lot line zone subject to certain conditions. Item C, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, Sections 38.2, 38.36, 38.432, 38.436, and 38.568 relative to short-term vacation rental certificates.
Okay, Madam Vice Chair.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, motion passes. Madam Clerk, item D.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sanitary sewer and easement located in the 2200 block of Gun Barrel Road beginning at 125 feet southeast of MH number S14I757, then northwest 125 feet to MH number S149I575, then northeast 50 feet, tax map number 149IB001.15 as detailed on the attached maps, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Ledford.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and proper second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Ordinances under first reading. Madam Clerk, item A.
An ordinance closing and abandoning an unopened public right-of-way located in the 3400 block of Olds Avenue as detailed on the attached maps.
All right, Madam Vice Chair.
Madam Chairwoman, this is in your district, and based on conversation at agenda session, I move to defer until September 19th.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, item B.
An ordinance closing and abandoning an unopened right-of-way located in the 400 block of West 35th Street as detailed on the attached maps.
All right, Madam Vice Chair.
This too is in District 7, Madam Chair, and I move to defer it until September 19th.
All right, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Item C.
An ordinance relocating a 20-foot wide Riverwalk pedestrian easement located in the 1200 block of Judd Road as detailed on the attached maps, subject to certain conditions.
Okay, this is in District 8.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item, under resolutions, item A.
A resolution confirming the appointment of Ann Fricker to the Animal Control Board for District 6 with a term beginning on August 30, 2023 and ending on August 29, 2026.
Okay, Councilwoman Byrd.
Move approval.
Motion and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Is Ann here? No. All right, well, if she's watching, we want to thank her for her service. All right. Under economic development, item B.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Economic Development to enter into an agreement with the Chattanooga Housing Authority, CHA, to rapidly house formerly homeless individuals for an amount not to exceed $100,000.
Okay, council, what's your pleasure?
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, item C.
A resolution authorizing revisions to the Employment Information Guide, EIG, to be effected upon approval. Revisions include Policy 1, Purpose and Objective, Policy 2, General Policies, Policy 4, Personnel, Human Resources Records, Policy 6, Outside Employment, and Policy 8, Separation of Employment, and authorizing formatting and table of contents updates.
All right, Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With discussion with staff today, and we're going to defer this until September the 12th and give us a little more opportunity for us to meet and discuss a few items for clarity. Thank you.
All right, it's in the form of a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and properly second to defer. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, if there's no objection from council, we can take items D, E, and F as a group. Okay, Madam Clerk?
Item D, a resolution authorizing a waiver of park rental fees for Chattanooga Presents in support of Three Sisters Bluegrass Festival held on the Chattanooga Green and Ross's Landing for the dates of October 5, 6, and 7, 2023, which includes $4,000 in deposits and $4,500 in rental fees for the total amount of $8,500. Item E, a resolution authorizing the City of Chattanooga to apply for and if awarded, accept a grant award from the Benwood Foundation for the National Park City Initiative in the amount of $25,000 and the Miller Park Improvements Project in the amount of $100,000 for a total amount of $125,000. Item F, a resolution authorizing the City of Chattanooga to accept an in-kind donation in the form of playground equipment and installation services from Playcore valued at $349,900 for installation at the Harris Johnson Park, with the City of Chattanooga match for an amount not to exceed $95,000 for the site preparation.
All right, Councilman Smith.
Madam Chair, I may have, or must have, overlooked one little detail on one of these items earlier. As being supportive, as many of us are, of Chattanooga Presents and what to do for our community and the festival. However, I am fairly certain that this council has met previously and discussed not waiving deposits.
Okay. All right.
So I will not be voting in favor of this item as long as the deposit is being waived. Obviously, they get it back. But I think everybody should be held accountable to ensuring the quality and care of our facilities, and the deposit, that's the exact purpose for it. So I don't know if there's support to amend that. I don't know if the people that are requesting it, Chattanooga Presents specifically, are interested in moving forward if that is not included. But Madam Chair, I would move to approve, and then I would like to amend if there is a second. And I need to pull D out, so my apologies for that.
All right, so this is for item D. Okay, so,
Ma'am.
all right, so,
Second the motion.
okay, so second motion.
And then I would like to move to amend which includes, $4,000 in deposits and.
Okay, 4,000 in deposits for the total amount of
Of $4,500.
$4,500. All right, all right.
And that is in the form of a motion, ma'am.
All right, second, all right. So that was an approval of the amendment, so the vote is, okay. So can I get a motion on the, motion as amended?
You got to vote on the amendment.
Oh, okay. All in favor of the
Aye.
amendment?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor of the amendment? Aye. All right. It's been-
Move as amended.
All right,
Second.
all right. It's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes as.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Smith.
And I'll also move for D and E that have been read into the record.
For E and F?
Sorry, E and F, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
all right. For E and F, read into the record. Got a motion?
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Councilman Smith. Item G.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into a joint funding agreement with the U.S. Geological Survey to operate 7 continuous real-time stream gauges located on North Chickamauga Creek, South Chickamauga Creek, Chattanooga Creek, Mountain Creek, Wolftever Creek, Lookout Creek, and Friars Branch for emergency preparedness and flood response activities for the period of April 1, 2023 through March 31, 2024 in the amount of $94,650.
Move to approve.
Okay, I got a motion and proper second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, item under purchases. All right, Ms. Brooke.
Good evening, council. We have 4 purchases recommended for approval this evening. First is from wastewater. This is an increase of $1 million for supply and delivery of parasitic acid from Bar Environmental for an estimated annual spend of $2,200,000. When the project was initially designed, the anticipated usage of parasitic acid was 50% of current usage. The use of the chemical for disinfection at this facility is a permit required by TDEC and the EPA. Wastewater staff are working with the vendor to optimize the usage as well as seeking other options to meet the permit requirement at a decreased cost. Next, from the Chattanooga Police Department, this is the purchase of ammunition for the Chattanooga Police Department's gun range firearms training and duty use in the amount of $105,918.62 from Precision Delta Corporation. This purchase will utilize State of Tennessee Sourcewell contract number 331-75507. Next, from the Fleet Management Division of Public Works, this is an increase of $200,000 needed due to the unexpected maintenance performed on Peterbilt trucks during year 1 of the contract for a new estimated annual spend of $375,000. And last, from Fleet Management Division of Public Works, this is the year 2 renewal of 4 with a $50,000 increase by CMI Equipment Sales, Inc. for a total contract amount of $150,000 for the second year. A 9.2% price increase was submitted at the time of year 2 by CMI due to increases in materials costs by the manufacturer.
All right. Okay, it's been motioned.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes.
We also are requesting approval to issue 1 RFP and not approval to award any contracts at this time. And the RFP is coming from Economic Development. This request for proposal will be issued to support the recruitment and retention of unemployed, underemployed, and historically underserved persons into registered apprenticeship programs in the building trades that will lead to equitable access to living wage employment.
All right.
Move to approve.
All right, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes.
And we have 1 emergency purchase. We also have 1 sole source purchase to report, and I will read those together if that is okay with you guys.
That's fine.
The emergency purchase to report is from the wastewater department. This emergency purchase for liquid oxygen from Linde was originally approved for $80,000. The final billing came in at $80,386.30. And we have the 1 sole source purchase to report also from wastewater, the purchase of compactor parts at a cost of $26,952 from Vulcan Industries, who is the sole distributor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Brooke. All right, Councilman Ledford.
Madam Chair, with your permission, I would like to recognize a new face with our library. Mr. William O'Hearn is in the audience with us today. I want everybody to take a good look at him. And if allow him a few moments, if he wishes, to say a few words, if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah.
Great. I was hoping you'd take us up on that.
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I just thank you so much. I'm just honored and privileged and to be a part of the library here and to work with all of you. I'm really excited about everything the community has. Everyone's been so welcoming and kind to me, and I've just been so excited to be a part of the community. So you have a wonderful library, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that and continue to build upon it. So looking forward to working on with all of you on that, and I'm looking forward to sitting down with you guys and figuring out how we can help make the community even better through library services. So I just want to thank you, and I feel honored and humbled to be in this position. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to you and your family.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Ledford.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now we come to time of committee reports. Councilman Henderson?
I have no report today, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. Councilman Smith?
No report, Madam Chair.
Councilman Ledford?
Planning and zoning will meet on September 12th, Madam Chair.
All right, Councilman Hester?
No report.
Councilwoman Coonrod? And congratulations to you and welcome back. Yes. Councilwoman Knoll?
No report.
Councilwoman Burrs?
No report, ma'am.
Madam Vice Chair?
Thank you. The Affordable Housing Committee met today, and we received the initial presentation on the Housing Action Plan that the city's been developing over the last 6 months. We will meet again on September 12th, where we will hear the results of the market analysis, which will help us know where best to deploy the financial resources that the city has to make the most progress toward the goals within the action plan. After September 12th, the Affordable Housing Committee will be part of a work session which will be scheduled, but that date remains to be determined.
All right, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. All right, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. And now comes time for recognition of persons wishing to address the council. As the attorney is reading the rules, please line up behind this podium if you would like to address the council.
Okay, at the end of each council business meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public who wish to address the council, and here's your rules. Each speaker wishing to address the council can only be recognized at the microphone up front that's provided for that purpose. You can't have more than 3 minutes to speak, and you can address the council only upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority, and not upon matters which are not under their authority but are regulated by other governmental bodies or agencies. You can't use vulgar or obscene language, nor use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others, and address your comments to the council as a whole and not towards any individual council members. And lastly, do not engage in disorderly conduct or disrupting a public meeting, which is prohibited under Tennessee law. And someone commits that offense if a person substantially obstructs or interferes with the meeting by physical action or verbal utterance with the intent to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting or gathering. And having stated those rules, go ahead, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, the Great Haired Fox, 1000 Lindsay Street, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'd like to use 37401. I made a call to Madam Chair, but let me say to Councilwoman Coonrod, are we still calling you Councilwoman Coonrod, or do we have a new last name? I want to know that we've had some challenges with last names, but I'm going to still call you Councilwoman Coonrod if that's all right. But now, in the meantime, I want to go from my book. This is the book that nobody's been able to steal. It's called The Bell Tolls for Thee. That's the name of this book. I've had excerpts and copies stolen from it, but not the actual book. It has all of the buildings that are mine. It has all of the incidents that occurred and the locations and so forth. But I want to read to you all. When I say I'm not bragging about there's been no attorneys to defeat me, I'm going to go back to the criminal court case of judge shopping in 2009. I'm going to bring it on up real quick. And it reads, Dear Mr. Summers, this is one of the first attorneys, Jerry Summers. Dear Mr. Summers, it was August of 2009 when District Public Defender Argina J. Garth asked me to come together with you and your client, Defendant Gary Wayne McCullough, in a joint effort to fight against injustice and corruption among at least 2 General Sessions Court judges and at least 2 state agencies and at least 2 city agencies accused of judge shopping. In addition to my lengthy stay in jail, I'm in jail like Martin Luther King with no access to the library or anything. But I'm writing this. In addition to my lengthy stay in jail for crimes I did not commit, the courts denied my motions to proceed pro se. 2 with my appointed counsels have all been agents of the aforesaid group of corrupt public officials. While appointed counsel Matthew C. Brown was threatening to recuse himself from my cases, criminal court Judge Don Poole on December 14, 2009, angrily and with persistence insisted on a side bench hearing and judgment of both of my matters to avoid me from having my issues heard and judged before a competent tribunal. On December 14th, although appointed counsel Matthew C. Brown advised me that the state had no legal evidence to continue to incarcerate me. It goes from there, but for the length of time, I'm going to request that next week I be allowed to read the entire thing. Not since the criminal courts have you all, even though you've denied me the right to proceed pro se, and everything else, have you been able to defeat me, 211 billion, 34 million. This is your last week. I want to read the whole thing, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Mr. Bell. All right, council, I don't see anyone else wishing to address the council.